Welcome to Aurelius Whitlock's Murder Museum.
I'm Marcus Richardson.
And I'm Nathan Hicken.
Okay, I know that there are other rooms in this lighthouse besides the bedroom office I was in.
Yes.
Are the other rooms in that same space where the statue is?
The stairs lead down to that central space, and then there's a hallway offshooting that. That's where the other two rooms are, along with the bedroom.
Okay. And the statue is where?
Is in the center of the central staircase, right at the bottom, on top of the marble floor.
Okay. Well, I'll look at that first.
Okay. It is a statue of Lao Kun being bitten or wrapped around and bitten by a giant snake.
Lacoon again. Lacuna Matata.
What a wonderful phrase.
For the observant listener, I believe we've heard that name as referenced also as a statue in the Gala exhibit. Either Nathan really likes his Easter eggs or he's playing 4D chess with us all.
Oh, yes.
Maybe both.
As you look at Lao Kun, you recognize the snake as the Eastward Mercer.
I'll look closer. Is there blood on this stone snake?
There's no blood on the snake. It is very much stone, much to your relief.
But did it stay as stone?
Ooh! This week on the Twilight Zone.
I wouldn't put it past him. The Eastward Mercer. And is Lao Kun actively being bitten?
It looks like
is that what you
yes.
said? Okay. Is she manifesting any features or side effects from said bite?
I mean, if you could see color, you would assume their lips would be black and their eyes would be red. But as they are marble, you cannot ascertain anything else. It is the same statue from the Gala exhibit. Yes.
Okay.
Emmeline is looking at it with you. I hate snakes. That would be a terrible way to go out.
That would. 'Twould indeed. Hey, I'm racking my brain here on things from different places and times that could connect. Does the Scarcity Corporation have any connection to a group called the Revenant? Have you ever heard of the Revenant?
That sounds familiar. I don't know that. Not off the top of my head, but someone who's better involved in the art or antiquity world might know more about that. But it would not surprise me.
Okay. I do think that I said that I wanted Vince to come up with me upstairs. Was he around up there?
No, after you gave him the...
Do what you want? I think I did.
Yes, you gave him the envelope and he said, okay, and he did what he wanted.
I want that envelope back. I don't know if I'll get it back. You know what? All right, I do want to look at these two rooms here, but I think first I'm going to leave the lighthouse and see if I can spot Vince Elwood, because it was not too long ago he was leaving. Do I see maybe where he is or where he's going?
You do not see him outside the lighthouse.
Can I go to what looks like the front office? I guess I can ask Emmeline the front office.
Yes. Of the fort. You go to the front office of the fort. An old woman with long, wispy white hair is sitting at the desk. Oh, hello. Oh, can I help you, sir? Oh, and is that... She wiggles her glasses. Oh, Emmeline, you're not due in here today. No, Alice, later this week, but I'm just helping Cornelius with his mourning.
Yes, I am an active mourner.
That's a...
Well,
Forgive me, but that seems hard to believe.
This is serendipitous. I didn't actually... I wasn't actually looking for you, Alice, but now that I'm here, I'm trying to put together some pieces from what happened a year ago and what happened last night. Do you know anything about the Scarcity Corporation?
The Scarcity Corporation. Oh, yes. They own a number of properties around the world. One here just in town. There, of course, are rumors that they are not the most above ground of dealers, but no lawsuit has stuck to them yet, so they must have some very good lawyers.
Not above ground as if in their acquisition process?
Yes, let's just say that the artifacts and jewels that they acquire seem to be of suspicious origin. In other words, they're stolen or looted.
Would they have any connection to the Revenant, or have you heard that name before?
Oh my, that takes you back to my wild youth in the 60s. Yes, the Revenant, a black market organization dealing in rare antiques. It is very possible that the Scarcity Corporation gets or sells to the Revenant.
Okay. The same sphere of influence.
I will say Scarcity pretends to be an above-ground front, while the Revenant tends to be underground.
That does make sense. Alice, do you ever deal with the paperwork involved with the comings and goings of the nearby dock?
If you mean I ship it off, then yes. Your father would come down the first Wednesday or so of the month, first week of the month, and deliver me the envelope, and then I'd send it on my way.
Has Vincent Elwood come by and done the same today?
No, I don't believe so.
Uh-huh.
He was over at the Lighthouse. Do you think it would be possible for me to visit the Lighthouse now that your father is deceased?
For what purpose?
You see, she pulls out a large ledger. I have been begging your father for years to be able to catalog his collection of strange and, frankly, sometimes disturbing nautical-related artifacts. And now that he's gone, it would be a service to you now that he is dead and his belongings have to pass on to someone, if there was someone to catalog said items. She gives you her best charming old lady look.
Does everyone want to get into the lighthouse today?
Emmeline laughs. Apparently that's where all the action is.
Well, that makes me think I better head back there in case someone else comes snooping and snoops before I get the chance to snoop. Let me get back to you on that, Alice. I think that could be a very valuable thing, but it might be best if we... Are you bouncing with enthusiasm?
She is bouncing with enthusiasm with her ledger. It's like the ledger is about 5 inches thick, and she could not be more excited about the prospect of cataloging.
Let's put a pin in it. I think that would be wonderful, but just give me a second to make sure everything is in order before I invite more guests into the lighthouse.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for your time. I think I'll head back to the lighthouse.
Okay, you head back to the lighthouse. As you go over, you notice the sky is getting even darker. And the drizzle has turned into a steady rain.
Well, I take shelter in the lighthouse and go to those rooms in the hallway that you mentioned.
Yes. Okay. So, the first room you enter is the kitchen.
And I'll just peek into the other one real quick.
The other room is a wild assortment of nautical-themed items. Seems to be the room that Alice Bethany was referring to.
Yes, I assumed that there would be a room of this sort. I think I might be more interested to look around here first.
What? Okay, you go into the... Calling it the junk room is mean, but the junk room. This has various ship paraphernalia, including various anchors along the wall, ship wheels, ships in a bottle, piles of rope, barrels. There's sand scattered across the floor in places. There is bottles of what look like alcohol of various sorts. There is even a tombstone, as well as, but of course, a stuffed monkey.
What? Nathan, what is it with you and taxidermizing characters from previous exhibits? Does this monkey have a hat?
Yeah, it does. But it has little symbols, so it's a nice monkey, as you can tell.
I don't think that symbols make monkeys nicer.
What?
I think that makes them more disturbing, more strange.
Emmeline picks him up. Aren't you just the most precious thing?
No, put it down.
Oh, can I keep him?
I don't think so.
Fine. She sets him down and pats him on the head. You're a good little monkey.
Strange. Looking around, what you said they're anchors?
Yes.
I suppose I will look at this monkey. Does it have a nameplate?
It does not have a nameplate, but it does look like the monkey from the Betrayal exhibit.
I feel like I'm watching the last season of a show that I haven't seen the previous seasons, or at least not for a very long time. Feels like there's a bunch of things where it's like a big wink, like, oh, it's from that other one, and I'm afraid I'm missing some because there's a lot of connecting fabric here.
There is a lot of connecting fabric. It is okay if you do not see all the threads.
As long as I appreciate the grand tapestry.
Exactly. The grand tapestry of murder.
Okay. Can I look at some of these other specific things in this room?
Yes. You look at the wall of anchors. There are 4 anchors with various different designs on them. You can't discern anything noticeable about them yet. The various ships in a bottle, old classic ships, nothing crazy there. As you are perusing around, though, you do see a keyhole in the wall by the anchors.
Does this lead into a specific room based on which wall it's on?
No. Doesn't seem to lead anywhere.
I happen to have a key in my pocket, yeah?
Yes, you do.
I put the key in the keyhole?
You put the key in the keyhole, you twist it, it does click like it fits, but nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
That feels right, but it feels like there's something more here.
Yeah. Okay, where is this wall facing? Is this wall facing the kitchen, the outside of the lighthouse, or...
It's facing the outside.
I tell Emmeline to quickly run outside into the rain and say this might be a great story. Can you see what's on the other side of this wall?
Yeah, of course. She runs outside. A few minutes later, she runs back in, soaking wet now, but excited. The wall goes right into the cliff as far as I can tell.
Oh, right into the cliff. What could that mean? Is this some sort of contraption? Or is this part of a lock to an entrance where I need to do another part?
Where did you get that key?
I don't remember. I just remember that I had one. It was in my pocket, I think, when I woke up. Am I remembering that right, Nathan?
Yes, you are.
These 4 anchors, do they have distinct patterns I could investigate?
You could. There one has 4 black studs in the shape of diamonds in it. Another is pretty rusted and worn. Another's a more shiny, just plain old anchor. And the last one has swirls on it.
Okay.
2 of them in the little anchor ball at the top have a picture of a sun. 2 of them have a picture of a moon. Not a picture, an carving of a sun or a moon.
Are these such that I could flip one to face the other?
They are not, alas. That is a great idea for a puzzle that I will probably write down later. But it is a good note that seems to be all for now.
Okay. Is that true of this room in general? Is that all there is for now?
Yes.
Then I better go to the kitchen and ruminate on the room.
You go to the kitchen. There, first of all, there is a woman in the corner wearing a brown leather jacket and cargo pants, and large steampunk goggles.
Could this be Arcadia Quinn?
This could be. There's also it looks like the kitchen's under remodel. There's cans of paint in the corner, various things on the counter, a little knife block, there's pots and there's pans, there's a large steamwork clock in the corner, there is a jar of coins on the windowsill, as well as a dumbwaiter.
Does the dumbwaiter go up?
You presume so. There's an up button.
Okay. Is there anything in the dumbwaiter right now?
Yes, you open the dumbwaiter and you find, most suspiciously of all, canned vegetables.
Wow. Are they beets?
There are beetroots among them.
I'll add that to my inventory. You thought you could slip some beetroots past me. You have another thing coming if you think you can just call something vegetables and not have me ask about beetroots.
Emmeline gives you an odd look, and so does the woman standing there. Emmeline asks, feeling peckish? I'm sure we could get you something better than beets.
I'm a bit of a collector.
Yes.
This looks useful.
She peers into your satchel. I can see that.
Amongst my scattered walnuts and shells and serpent and newspapers. Green climbing rope.
Yep.
I have a lot in here.
Why do you have all that?
I don't tell you how to live your life.
Well, fair enough.
And speaking of adding to my collection, I scramble over to the coins and I look for a nickel.
You search through the entire jar and you find a singular nickel.
It would have been awesome if you said the entire jar didn't have a single nickel. Just a nice little screw you.
Got him. There's so many coins in here, but not one.
Okay. Well, that's cool too. I'm gonna get some exercise in by how many times I've walked up the lighthouse. So I have reason to go back up there. And remind me, anything else to look at before I talk to this individual in the corner?
Just the things on the counter I mentioned. There's the usual kitchen, like implements, oven, fridge. Again, the pots, pans, cutlery, paint cans, kitchen stuff.
The paint cans does it look like this room had been partially painted, or had it not started?
It looks like there is some paint being put here, but the paint is white, so it blends in. There are just some shiny bits you can catch in the light, so you assume there has been painting done here.
Okay, is it very selective spots that look like new paint? Like they've painted over something previously on the wall?
Doesn't look like that.
Okay. I open the fridge.
You open the fridge and you find a gallon of milk that is about to go expired. It's a fridge for you, so you open that as well. You find copious amounts of frozen meals. It seems like your father was not perhaps the best cook, but thus nothing suspicious in and of itself. But you do notice there are no other drinks except milk in the fridge.
The way you say that makes it sound like it is significant. Was milk in one of the antidotes? Let me check. No,
I don't believe so.
Well, okay. So there are no strong spirits in here. So Wait, do people... which alcoholic beverages do you not refrigerate?
I don't think you refrigerate wine. You refrigerate beer.
And there were some bottles in the previous room. Oh, I forgot to grab one of those. Can I say that while I'm thinking about it, run back to the other room,
Yes.
grab a bottle?
You grab a bottle, you look at it, the label says Mariner's Lightning.
What? Mariner's Lightning is the favorite of Captain Stefan Montgomery, one of the people who died in the so-called Illinois massacre.
Mm.
Why do every single one of these people have something of theirs in the lighthouse?
You're finding a lot of puzzle pieces, but you might not know what you're building yet.
Yeah, apparently not.
Emmeline...
Because...
Oh, sorry, go for it.
I was just going to pontificate on... To remind the listener, the deceased in the crash, one was at home with a bottle of Mariner's Lightning. Anne Neve was a gravedigger's daughter. We've seen a gravestone, which I didn't even look at. Georgia Boyle from the shores of the Riviera, which we did see some sand from the Riviera. Alistair Ratchet, a clockmaker turned sailor, and we saw a clock as well. Is that here in the kitchen or in the previous room?
That is here in the kitchen.
I'm gonna, like a crazy person, run over to the clock and stare at it.
It stares back into your soul.
Scary. Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing interesting on this clock?
It is a steam work clock. So it is interesting looking, but there's nothing like I know who killed the murderer interesting.
Rats. I'll run over to the gravestone. What did the gravestone say?
This gravestone has a carving of a rose on it.
A rose like one of the switches. Okay. So watches the nightmare. Could this mean each of these symbols connect to one of the deceased? Maybe not, but there is a rose. A rose is on those symbols. Nathan is never content to just make a murder mystery. He always makes a murder mystery and an escape room.
Apologies. You can't escape it till you solve the murder and all my 16 puzzles.
And we love every second of it, especially the Marcus spiraling of like, wait, is this a crucial detail for the mystery, or is this a clever puzzle component?
Emmeline senses
know.
your distress and pats you on the shoulder. You seem in distress a little bit. Is there anything I could do to help?
What's within your wheelhouse?
Well, clever quips, advice, random knowledge about various bits of history. I majored in journalism.
So you're useless then.
Not as useless as a major in communications.
Touche. You don't know that about me.
Oh,
Get out of here.
That was my sister.
Oh, okay. For the listener, Nathan and I both majored in communication studies, the most generic sounding major that we could find.
And then we did it twice with mass communications as a master's degree.
It was so worthwhile we did it again.
Yep.
Nathan, the episode's getting long. I think I want to go upstairs and put a nickel in this bird.
Put a nickel in the bird. That sounds weird. You put a nickel in the bird, and you see as the bird's head lifts up and its eyes glow blue. It squawks once, and a rolled piece of parchment falls from its mouth and out into your hand. This is what the parchment says. So watches the nightmare. In a time not long gone, in a place very near, lights had gone out, and death had come here. First taken was gem, lost to the waves. This rare jewel was tied to a half-dozen graves. Then in the dark the flower did fall, her petals departing within the storm squall. The firefly, her lover, broken and scared, kissed death not long after, and nobody cared. Next, the mirror that reflects on the past was shattered to pieces by a sharp-pointed blast. The tree, strong and sturdy, ran off to hide, but the shadows then claimed him, he withered and died. The half-broken heart faced death on her own, a bite and a stumble, and she died all alone. The sea became angry, the light lost its flame, the rest were all taken when the snows came. The last was the ghost, with her future all botched. To the museum she went, as the nightmare now watched.
Legal official. Like this job, yes, job.
I just love that Miss Quinn in the kitchen watched me run in, stare at a clock, steal a can of beetroots, and run back out.
Yep.